morning.
Good morning. How are we?
Really good. Thank you very much. And how are you?
I'm good. I'm a little bit frazzled from Saturday in the sunshine. We had our outdoor performances on Saturday over at New Mills, and it was glorious sunshine. It was cracking the flags. And of course, we were all sat there in black and a little bit frazzled, but I can't tell you what an amazing day it was. For anybody that was sat there taking it all in, it was absolutely incredible to see performances. And because we were before this date, we had to do it outside. So we kept within the COVID guidelines, and it was all safe, and it was just amazing. It was just amazing to watch.
It really was. I saw it all transpire online before my very eyes. It was lovely.
And that was me behind the camera, and it was a nightmare because the phone kept going into overheating. So every now and again, it'd just say the temperature's too hot, and it would just disappear. So some of our lives were cut quite short. And at one point, I had 2 cameras on the go and a little box to keep them cooling. It was a bit crazy, but it was great. It was absolutely great. And there was lots of lovely things to celebrate. So yeah.
There was. And for those of you who could be watching this who don't know who we are Take Part. We're a fully inclusive place where everybody is encouraged to care for themselves, each other, and the team around them, share skills, knowledge, direction, values, and experiences, dare to take risks and have the confidence to go that extra mile and prepare themselves for performance for that moment and for life. Please don't forget to like, follow, comment, and subscribe. As we are currently streaming across multiple media platforms, we ask that you let us know which media platform you're watching us from. So you can do that by in the comments below. You can put a 1 if you're watching live and a 2 if it's a replay. So that's a 1 for live and 2 for replay. So this weekend, as Louise mentioned then, we had an amazing showcase over at the New Mills Take Part. And it showcased every year group that we teach, I think, pretty much, apart from the top end who are at the weekend coming, aren't they? It was reception to year 9, and it was beautiful, really, really lovely. And if you want to see that, so I've got a few comments coming in now. So hi to those ones. Hello, lovely to see you. It was really lovely to see when I was watching it all back, and sometimes watching the replays just allows you to have that moment to let it really sink in. And I'm pretty sure that if you were watching live on the thing, the emotion and the just being overwhelmed by it all happening, it would have been like, oh my gosh, taking it in. But now you can all go back and relive those wonderful moments online. So go and have a look at our showcase from reception to year 9+ in the Facebook lives that we've put out. Oh my goodness. So today is an incredible day because we have with us some guests. Amanda, it was a fab showcase on Saturday. Thank you very much. We have some guests with us in the green room, as somebody has just said they'd like to be called the green room and not the waiting room. So yes, we'll call it the green room. They're sat in the green room as we speak, and they are our music department. So we're going to bring them on to talk about all things fabulous and all things music, and how music in particular is taught at Take Part. So we're going to welcome Roxy, who is our head of vocals.
Hello.
Hello. We're going to welcome Mark, who is new to our music department. So a warm welcome to Mark.
Hi, Mark.
And our lovely Hannah, who is also relatively new to the music department, not new at all to Take Part, but we'll hear more about that later. So this is Hannah G, and she is our lovely new student teacher who has just embarked on a career within the Take Part music department. So, Roxy, I'm going to come straight to you first of all, and I would like to know about how you got into music.
Right, well, it's quite interesting that you asked me this on today, because today my eldest daughter is about to embark on her last week of primary school, and my journey with singing was whilst we were rehearsing for my Leavers Assembly in Year 6. So it's the same week, and I was singing a song, and it was where we reworded the Wombles theme tune to Leave. I remember it well. And one of the grandparents of somebody that was there said to my mum, "Oh, yeah, does she sing? Does she do singing or anything like that?" And that was sort of that. My mum then went and found a wonderful singing teacher, and that was that. And it made me fall in love with it. And from that, I had also been playing piano and clarinet and things through primary school. Just kind of got into panto. I'd done panto a couple of times, and then went into and did Les Mis, with Martin being the director in high school, and that was in Mosley, and it just sort of snowballed. So I kind of like was very much in music. I was very much surrounded by it at all times. So getting from school, my homework, go and sit at the piano, play, sing, write music, and I found it really helped me to focus on my schoolwork as well, to be able to have the balance. I was extremely lucky to be able to try so many different instruments and have lots of amazing musical influences in my life from the tutors that I had, and support from a family to be able to actually do those things. So then we got to high school options. Music was what I did. It was just sort of there. It was an obvious one. I, again, was very, very lucky. I had an incredible music teacher at secondary school, who was very inspiring, very, very open to the journey being about what that person needed, even though it was curriculum stuff. And as anybody that kind of has lessons with me now will know, and hopefully people will realise, I am very much about that. Yes, there might be something that we have to be on that path, but that path doesn't need to be in the same direction. There's lots of different paths to get to the outcome. So then GCSE went, then A-level. Now, I did a bit of a different journey to most of my friends. Most of my friends went down to Pendleton and went down to musical theatre college and did that down there. And now I didn't, for various different reasons, and I went and did A-levels. So I did A-levels in music, art, performing arts. Then went to audition at universities and actually got offered a very generous position, a very generous place on an acting degree, which blindsided me as I'd auditioned for the performing arts course. Did not then take that and followed someone else I knew down to London to go to Tech Music Schools, which is now otherwise known as BIM. And that was in London, and that's where I focused purely on technical vocal performance. So the terminology was popular music performance, and popular music's been quite funny over my time being at Take Part, because a lot of people seem to be like, "Oh, you did popular music, so you just kind of sing like Britney Spears." And like, that's all you do. Like, you literally spend 3 years training how to sing like Britney Spears. But by doing that, it opens your eyes as to what popular music is. So what's popular in my household or with me on my playlist most definitely won't be the same as what's popular on Louise's or Mark's or Hannah's or Leanne's or even on my husband's. So you like opera and you listen to opera all the time, that's popular for you. I like things like a bit rocky, well, that's popular for me. So to do
and I
that,
like the Carpenters.
And you like the Carpenters. I know, you keep telling me this. Louise is desperate for the Carpenters. She wants a Carpenters project.
Put a comment below if you're in Team Carpenters with me.
That's quite an interesting thing, though, if we can get the comments to tell us what's like the last thing you listen to on your playlist, because that just shows you how diverse it is. One of my favourite words when doing music and teaching is eclectic. A lot of people hear me say that quite a lot. Eclecticism is beautiful. Like, the fact that you're not channeled to one thing, and that doesn't necessarily just mean eclecticism in what you're listening to. It can be how it's accessed. It can be how it's learned, taught, performed. viewed, you name it. Like, it's just a massive thing, and that's why. And being in uni doing that made me realize that I definitely wanted more of that. I wanted to help other people realize that the possibilities are genuinely endless, because that person that you're working with could create a new form of fusion, a new form of music that people haven't heard before. And that really excited me. So that's how I got into music. That's the music side of me.
That's amazing. Thank you very much. Guess what, Louise? Amanda Hudson also likes the Carpenters.
The Carpenters, come on.
So put in the comments then, Amanda, what is your favourite Carpenters tune? And then Louise, once Amanda's disclosed her favourite Carpenters, you can tell us what yours is. Okay, Mark, I'm going to come to you and just ask you how you got to music, because it's not a straightforward path for you, was it?
Well, it kind of was and it wasn't. So I started performing arts as like a general thing when I was very little. I was 5 years old, I think, when I started doing singing, dancing and acting and all that stuff. So I went to a theatre school over in Stockport when I was growing up and everything. And I did that for years and years. And as I was growing up and stuff, I also took music lessons. So I did guitar lessons primarily. So I started learning that maybe when I was about 7 or 8, I think, something like that. And then from there, I kind of, when I was in my early teens, I started like self-teaching myself piano. And there was other people at the theatre school and stuff who played piano. So I'd just like sit and watch, and I'd just kind of take it to myself, then go off by myself and learn myself. So I'm actually a self-taught pianist, but over the years, I've kind of honed those skills. So then after I did my GCSEs and everything, all school stuff, school was kind of completely separate for me. I didn't enjoy school as a kid. That wasn't my safe place. My place to go was performing arts, theatre school, somewhere like Take Part. That's where I felt comfortable. I was around people who knew what I wanted to do, whereas school was completely different. People just didn't get me. So yeah, I then went to Pendleton College, which Roxy mentioned before, and I did musical theatre and performing arts there, but I was mainly focused on the dance side of things. So, it'll be more along the side of, like, if we're talking musicals, you're talking musicals like Cats, which are primarily dance-based, or Saturday Night Fever, which is all dance-based. All the dance-based ones, Footloose, not your Les Mis, which is stand and sing kind of thing, So that's kind of the route I was taking. I then went and did a degree in dance and theatre performance at Bird College. So still heavily in the dance, but all the time I was still doing lots of music. I was doing lots of piano playing, always, doing more and more. So in sixth form college, I basically MD'd like a little mini show that the students put together. MD'd that, musical directed, for those of you who don't know what MD is. So yeah, I musical directed a little show at sixth form college, and then throughout my time at Bird College, I would join in with like the band for the musical productions for like the third year shows. So when I was in first and second year, I'd join in playing extra keyboards or extra percussion parts. I think the first time I was just page turning for someone. But yeah, I kind of got involved on the music side of things, which actually wasn't part of the course, but it's something that I always kind of did. And then after I graduated, I just ended up kind of going more down the music route. It's just the way it ended up. I took on singing jobs that involved me having to arrange music, having to write music, having to musical direct things. So I just kind of ended up taking on these roles that were more music based. I think it was kind of the role that I felt I took when I was at Bird College as well. people would come up to me, oh, can you just play through that? Can you just, have a look at this music for me or whatever? It's kind of like the role I ended up kind of doing there. So yeah, I think that's kind of fed through into the work that I've now done. So a little bit of the work that I've done for those who, well, no one knows who I am, really, probably, who's watching this.
Yeah.
Yes. But Mark, yeah. you are joining our Glossop team on Saturday. Yeah. And you are going to be our musical director for our very first big production of Oliver. And that is super exciting for Glossop to take part. You are also joining adult musical theatre on a Tuesday evening over at New Mills, aren't you?
Yeah, I am indeed. I met a few of them a couple of weeks ago. That was good fun.
Yay. So it really is, and I'm pretty sure that will not be the last that we see you take part. You'll be popping up all over, and
I will. Yeah.
I'm sure
the way it works. The way it works.
It is.
Yeah.
And now we're going to just quickly move on to Hannah. So Hannah, you, like I said earlier, you are new to your role, but you are not new to take part. So just give us a very quick kind of overview as to what you are about right now in your kind of start of your career and how you got to where you are.
Well, I joined Take Part when it first started, which was, I think, about 6 years ago, a very long time ago.
Nearly 7.
7, yeah, a very long time ago. So I would have been about 8 or 9, I think. And before I joined, I very much liked music and I was very fascinated by it, but it is something that's quite hard to get into. You can't just pick up a guitar and suddenly be Ed Sheeran, and 9-year-old me thought that was how it worked. So I thought, well, if I can't do it immediately, I'm not interested. So when I got into Take Part, I was very much musical theatre because I quite enjoyed that. And it wasn't something that I found easy, but for me, it was an easier process than music was because I didn't really know much about it. So I was very much passionate about musical theatre for about 4 years. And then I met Roxy and she came to Take Part and she sort of came up to me and she was like, you can do both, And I didn't think that was possible. So I suddenly changed a year ago to doing much more music and decided that I wanted to give Glossop a try. So that's what I've been doing this year. And through that, I've got accepted into BIM, which is the college that Roxy was talking about earlier. So I'm going to be studying a songwriting course there from September. So that'll be fun. But yeah, it wasn't something that I particularly planned on. It just sort of happened.
Wow, that is so exciting. So BIM, watch out. She's extremely talented and she's coming for you, hungry and ready to soak it all up. So watch this space, not only BIM, but watch this space, the world, because Hannah is very, very talented.
Can I just point out, I've seen lots of Hannah over the last few weeks. She's been working with me on public speaking. She did her grade 6 exam last weekend, wasn't it? Yeah. And then she's also been doing acting. When I say doing, excelling in acting. We saw a little bit of that at a showcase that we held on Friday night for the private lessons. Absolutely incredible piece of acting, I hasten to add. You're a very, very funny lady. And being funny is not easy, especially at your age. So incredible. You have got a lot of talent. And like you've just seen from Roxy and Mark, musicians usually come with lots and lots of skills. And I think you have fallen into this department because you are so diverse and you are an incredibly talented young person, and I'm very excited to see where that's going to go. So I think certainly on the mentoring scheme we're about to jump into in September, it's all about you, that Hannah. It is totally and utterly about your journey and where you want to take it. So Roxy will lead that and lead you through it, but it's your stuff. So very, very excited to see where that's going to go. We're behind you every step of the way.
Absolutely.
Oh, that is so nice. That is like so true. We are all behind you every step of the way, and it is exciting to see where the journey starts and then where it just continues to go. It never ends. The journey never ends. It just continues to keep going, and it's really nice to see that. And what I would like to talk to you about now, Hannah, is your new role within Take Part. So now that you are in the music department, what are you most looking forward to doing within this new little music bubble?
I think teaching, obviously. I think putting a show on, a musical, would be quite interesting, because obviously I started teaching in COVID, which was slightly strange. So I started helping Roxy on Zoom, and she was mentoring me for a while, and then we came in person and I started doing that, but I've only ever done bits and bobs. So for award showcases, it's more like single numbers that are all put together. But I think working with lots of different people with a clear storyline and a clear end goal will be quite interesting.
Awesome. So we're all very excited about putting on a show and it actually happening and not being cancelled the week before the show day. So we are all really excited to make that happen this year. So Roxy, can I just ask you about what makes a Take Part show different to any other show?
You know, it's definitely the journey to get to the stage. The show is amazing. That's where you get the achievement, the buzz of looking out and seeing people out there. But for me, being involved in the production team, it's about the teamwork. I was having this conversation with someone on Saturday. It's lovely to see the end goal, but what's nice about Take Part is it's not a teacher and student thing. It's not an us and them. It's not you come here and listen to what we do. It's fully a journey that you do at the same time. I really believe that. So if a child comes in a cast group or year group and it's not quite right for them that day, and there's something amiss, there's a team of people there that won't even talk about it. They will just jump straight on it and create it so it's the best possible day for that child at that exact moment, making sure that everybody is working as a team. And I think that is the best part of it, is every single person belongs. Every single person in the cast and production team. You're all in it. You're all feeling every high and sometimes every little nervy low, but you work through it, and it's about working through that and realizing why you're getting onto the stage. Yes, of course, the round of applause and the lovely standing ovations that we get is lovely, but actually it's about going, you guys just realize what you've just done. Like, do you realize how brave and how amazing that is and how special that is? You've just really invested into, like, 4-year-olds getting onto a stage and singing and doing a dance. They don't even realize how amazing that is for their well-being. But by doing that, that's released all these happy endorphins, and that's them then for however many hours going all excitable, and that helps obviously all areas of your life, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about. I like the reflection part as well, where you go, do you realize, guys, what you've just done? Like, we've not done that. Like, it's everybody, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about for me, and that's why I love doing that.
Louise?
I totally agree, and I love to hear that from Roxy, and I loved to see that on Saturday as well. The team being a team and being alive, but I have to say, it has to come from these people at the top, and you guys on the screen and the bigger team beyond are massive huge role models to these young people. And the likes of Hannah stick with us from being 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way through. And most of them were kind of, you know, they come on at the end as well. It's not as if they just disappear. And I really don't think that would happen if it wasn't for the role models that were in front of the children. You have created a team, which is not easy with creatives. You know, there are some big personalities, but you are very, very accepting of each other. There is no competition within the business. It's collective and it's very united, and it's lovely to see. And that, I think that has a huge part of why it works. The children see that and they react in that manner because that's the way that you react together. Good.
I totally agree. And I think the thing that made me go, I love Take Part, when I came that one time just to do a workshop and was like, this is amazing, was the fact that everybody was a collaborative team at all moments. It was none of this kind of, this is my bit, this is my department, and you cannot take any of it. It was very much a part of, if you walk through the room and you see something, you're like, oh my gosh, it'd be amazing if you did a this right now. And everyone went, yes, let's do a this then, let's do it. And nobody felt precious about their thing, and they were happy to just to have a voice and an opinion and a let's do this together. And the teamwork is amazing, and it is very much filtered down from the top, like you say, Louise. Like, if we're a team, we can talk about being a team and create teams, and that is so important. And what I also think,
the culture and the ethos is imperative within this industry. It can make or break. You'll have seen it, Mark, with all the experience that you've had. You know, it can make or break it. And at Take Part, we've nailed. Well, I think we have nailed it, and it's just very, very obvious to see when you see it all coming together. Sorry, Neil.
Yeah. I think as well, the fact that we are, as a team, each individual is multifaceted. So we all have little areas where we have stronger areas and weaker areas, but we're all prepared to just get our hands dirty and kind of say, okay, yeah, well, let's do that then today. And I'm going to go here and have a little bit of fun and step outside of my comfort zone over here and feel safe doing so. And that is really important too. And it's also nice because it means that you're not just put in a box and you are this person and this is all you are allowed to do. Sometimes we're allowed to just have a little dabble and put our feet in this pond over here, and it's quite nice. It's a little bit scary, but it's nice. And that's what's nice. And I think we're then able to comfortably show that in front of people, that we're also stepping out of our comfort zones, and it's okay. It's okay to fail first time, and then we learn from it and we go back and try again. And that is okay too. And I think just moving to you, Hannah, like from your journey, what has made you want to stay with us? You know, it's in September. You could quite easily have decided, thanks guys, had enough now, Take Part is in the past and now I'm on to BIM. What has made you want to go, but I want to do this and stay with Take Part too?
I think because it's Take Part, something that's never limited me trying new things. And I think that's sometimes the reason why a lot of people give things up, is because they feel like they've reached a point of being the best or knowing everything that they feel they need to know. And then they give things up. Whereas I feel like Take Part something where I'm constantly learning, whether that be as a student or I've learned to teach this year. And that's something that I never thought I'd be doing. And it's I'll say as a student, it's a very safe place to learn. And I think trying new things is definitely encouraged. And I've definitely seen that working with Roxy this year in Rock School, as we focused a lot on appreciating music. And we were a very small group. There was only about 5 of us, but we're all very different in our kind of styles and genres of music. And I think being in that environment was really nice because it showed me that it's okay to want to do different things, and you're not any less talented because you don't want to do something, or that's not the element of it you're good at. And it's definitely about developing your skill set and what you want to do with it.
That's great. So it's really harnessed your individuality and run with it within a group situation where everybody is individual, and have celebrated your individuality rather than making everybody try and fit in this one thing and say, this is the way we learn and this is the way we do it. And I think that's, again, just a thing that I love so much about Take Part, is the fact that it is such a fully inclusive. We take you as we find you, and we want you to blossom into what your potential is. And it's like, it's gorgeous to see that. And I think, Mark, I know when we've spoken to you before, and I'd like you to kind of like, what is it about teaching that you love?
Oh, for me, teaching. So my first foray into the teaching world, I guess, like properly, just so there's a bit of a background, just so there's a bit of context here. So I taught in primary schools, teaching kids how to play in rock bands, basically, with a company that's now nationwide, going around primary schools week in, week out, you know, and they do loads of charitable stuff as well. But that's where I kind of honed a lot of my teaching, and the whole ethos of that is very similar to what Take Part is. Basically, we were kind of building teamwork with the kids, building confidence, giving them the opportunities to perform if they wanted to, giving them the opportunity to learn new skills, to be able to manage themselves as a group together. But we did that through music lessons. Music wasn't the primary focus of what we were doing. It was building the kids to be the best people that they can be within themselves. It wasn't necessarily giving them the skills. Yes, of course, we'd give them the skills if that child really wanted to learn and wanted to, you know, progress and etc. etc. Yeah, we of course taught them exactly what they wanted to learn. But for some of the kids, it was just about being in a group, playing some music and building that confidence, and being able to say, yeah, I played a gig in front of my parents, or whatever it may be. You know, that might be all the child wants. And so for me, Take Part kind of is exactly kind of, it mirrors that. It's the same ethos, it's the same concept, it's the same kind of way of teaching, which is very different, I think, to what I had when I was younger, and probably for you guys as well. Maybe not Hannah, but it was very elitist, kind of where I was. You know, it was either you've got to be the best, always pushing. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. Come on, you can do better. You can do. You know, that isn't the way that I like to teach. I like to involve everyone and for it to be inclusive. But yeah, there you go.
And do you know what? The magic of that is the fact that, like Louise, you mentioned before we came on there, like you mentioned how amazing and the progress was in vocals especially, but across the board. I have to say, at Glossop, we had our very first set of group Lambda exams and private exams as well. Not last weekend, the weekend before, and I burst with just pride, because they learned all of that in lockdown, and it's not just Glossop, New Mills too. But I have to say, like, I was like a mother to all of them, and I was so proud of every single one of them to have done that. And you think all the time, you're like, you know, this person doesn't necessarily want to be the next Kerry Ellis or the next rock star, but they just want somewhere safe that they can create and belong and not be judged. And they come, and yet they're so capable, and they are learning so many incredible life skills just by coming and taking part. And it is so important And not only are they learning the life skills, but they're learning these incredible things like talents as well. They are working on these talents, and that is so, so exciting to see. And I know Roxy, sorry.
Can I just jump in at that point? I've been up really early this morning, and I'm working with. I can't give too much away at the moment because it's secret news. But I'm working on a grant with a company who is actually based in America, who has found Take Part and wants to help them with their next sort of level of taking part, if you like. And that grant money, if we're successful, will be put towards a STEM project. So that's science, technology, engineering, and maths. Now, normally, back in the day, I would be running for the hills right now. I'd be over kinder. Maths is not my thing. It's never has been, and I've never been interested in it. But I've done a lot of research on STEM innovations and what that does to the brain and how it links really well with the arts, particularly music. So I'm now looking at the new side of music, digital music. A lot of people know that my husband, Joe, happy birthday, Joe, for yesterday. It was a very, very busy weekend, but we did fit his birthday yesterday and celebrated it. So Joe was a production manager on cruise ships for 20 years. And he actually went to the audition to be a pianist on the cruise ship and got the wrong day. And got the day when they were interviewing the sound engineers. So he ended up in a career that he wasn't planning on going into. And he also did a degree in popular music, which took me a while to understand what that even meant. But yes, I do get it now. But yes, so where those two things blend now, music and technology and innovation and young people, and exactly what Hannah's interested in, and we've got loads of other people that take part who are now becoming extremely interested in those fields. So I am looking at funding for some big projects that are going to enhance the music department and how it works with technology and all those things. So I'm going to throw that out, if that's okay, to Roxy first, because I know she knows quite a lot about it and the new syllabuses that are coming out through Rock School and things like that. And it's just really, really exciting and where it can go and where we are with innovation. And it really blends with the ethos of not standing still at Take Part, which we don't do. We are all about growth and moving forward. So Rox, what do you think about that?
So that's very exciting, very, very exciting. So over the past year, maybe 2 years, we've started to do, we've been teaching in the music department, music production. Joe's been really, really amazing with that, has really, really mentored some very, very, so some of the students that do the music production, they've just owned the fact that it's, again, like Hannah was saying, it's different. That's such a big thing as well, to be brave enough to be like, yeah, well, actually, I want to do something a bit different, and I'm also going to smash it while I'm doing it because I'm doing a great job at it. And that's been sort of noticed, that there's more and more inquiries. I've had a conversation with a parent this weekend in between all of the shows who was like, can you just stand there and tell me about BIM and tell me about different options after GCSE? So they don't have to go to do A-levels and they don't have to go to performing arts. They could actually go somewhere else. Tell me about that. And so now we're starting to try and realise that journey could do with starting a little bit earlier, that not a lot of schools, high schools, are giving students these options because of funding. We all know that arts funding is just not in a great position in mainstream schools. And we can kind of look at creating that journey and letting people have a little dabble. So like we go back to online teaching. Hannah, we started our Logic journey, didn't we, together, and managed to figure out a way of getting Hannah to record vocals where she was, sending them to me to then put into Logic, sharing the screen so that Hannah could actually control my software from where she was. Craziness. Craziness. I was so impressed. But then that's kind of sparked a little bit of interest in Hannah, because Hannah was already playing and writing things, which has now snowballed, and she's going to go and be an amazing student and at BIM and at Take Part and look into songwriting. So with that in mind, we've looked and gone, yeah, there's definitely a lot more that we can be doing here. And Rock School have also seen that over the pandemic more than anything. Their ethos is totally in line with, I've taught Rock School for about a decade now, and their ethos is about people's individuality. That's why they want to celebrate that. Yeah. Also very technical, like it is very technical. It's very different, very, very different to exam boards that we work with. Streets apart, very, very different. But both obviously nurture and want people to keep moving and keep progressing. But during the pandemic, Rock School sort of switched it, went online with their exams almost immediately, created a platform and a portal for us to do online exams. And their tagline for that was, because why should your journey stop just because the world has? You're still there, you're still learning, you've still learned all this amazing stuff, let's keep moving.
Oh, I think that's absolutely so noticeable, so noticeable that you did not have to stop. And this weekend, it just proved that there was so much. In fact, I think the most progress made in the journey of Take Part has been made in the last 18 months. So thank goodness we didn't stop. Thank goodness we carried on. And it was difficult. It was so difficult. Carried on.
Yeah, we did, and it was amazing, and it is amazing. So Rock School noticed that people weren't stopping, they didn't have to stop, and had a look at what people were now using, and with us all not being able to go out as much, they brought out syllabuses and exams in vlogging, which start at debut. So you could be like, my little 5-year-old could start and get a certificate in how to vlog, podcasting, how to control your voice, how to interview people. Like, these guys are great at it and things like that. And they've brought out a whole syllabus on that, and you can go and get your certificates and work your way up through the ranks in podcasting. Like, that's fantastic. That's so exciting, and realizing you can use your voice, not just if singing maybe isn't your thing, then that's okay, because you can use your voice in a different way, and the technical side of that as well. And what mic's the best mic? How do I put that out? How do I do all of this? They've also got how to manage yourself. So management, so like personal social media marketing. They've got a new marketing course out. Yeah, they've got a new marketing course which you can learn from a young age at how do I get myself on the map and the course, the great thing is it evolves as the world evolves. So as something new comes out, a new platform that might be worthwhile looking into, they will update their syllabus to say, right, let's get this involved into it. They will contact you to say, right, this isn't in the syllabus, but this is what we're thinking. They've brought out new art and media courses, like makeup in the media and things like that, and you can look at that, stage and prop design. They've, things that you can try and do at home, and that's something that I've been really excited about as well. And with that in mind, I know we have created the Creation Station to bring out in September, which is at the moment it's year 7s. Is that right, Louise?
Yeah, I've put 2 clubs out there. We're going to see what interest we get. One's definitely just for year 7s. One a little bit later on in the day, so sort of tea timey. So there's people that are a little bit further afield. We want to open them up at our New Mills and at our Glossop stations. So we are going to be launching those over the summer holidays. So keep your ears and eyes out, and we will give you some more information with facilitators, etc. But it's very, very exciting. And like I say, this is now hopefully going to be, there's going to be some funding thrown at it for all kinds of technology that people can take part in And it doesn't necessarily, well, it doesn't have to be performing arts anymore. It doesn't have to be the singing, dancing, jazz hands kids. Those are great and we love you all, but there are other children that need to take part in their lives. And those are the children that we're looking at and we're targeting now, so that we can help you along your way as well in your journeys.
Amazing. Okay, guys, I want to thank you all so much for coming on and introducing yourselves. Mark, we look forward to working with you in Glossop and also in New Mills come September. Hannah, thank you so much for logging on and sharing your journey with us, and also wish you the absolute best of luck for your journey in BIM in September, and obviously your new tutor role at Take Part from September. Roxy, thank you once again for coming in and just sparkling and being gorgeous as normal. And we will see more of you, I'm sure, over the next few months. But for now, it's summer holidays, so we will let you nearly. By the time we're live again, it will be summer holidays.
Oh yes,
guys. So so enjoy your summer holidays, everybody, and we will see you live next Monday anyway, Louise and I. So enjoy, and have a wonderful week. Enjoy the weather.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.